Assembling a Mamava Flex lactation pod requires at least 2 people and about 2 hours to complete. In this video, we'll walk you through everything you need to know and share some helpful tips along the way. To assemble your Mamava Flex lactation pod, you'll need the following tools: a cordless drill with a No. 2 Phillips bit to be used for crate disassembly only, a box cutter, a label maker or permanent marker, a 2 to 6 foot step ladder, a flathead screwdriver, a No. 2 Phillips head screwdriver, a ratchet and 9/16 inch socket, the 5mm hex key that comes with your pod, the 5/32 inch hex key that also comes with your pod, a tape measure. It's also helpful to have an outlet tester. Hot tip: you may want to wear lightweight gloves. We do not recommend using power tools to assemble the pod, as these can damage the hardware. To begin the assembly process, move the shipping crate as close as possible to the final pod location. Hot tip: depending on the size of your door opening, you may need to carry boxes to your installation site. Use a cordless drill with a No. 2 Phillips bit to remove the screws from the crate cross braces, then the end panels, and finally the side panels of the crate. Hot tip: we recommend you unbox as directed throughout the assembly process to keep track of parts, but if space doesn't allow, label parts accordingly. Open box 1. Inside, you'll find your assembly instructions, lock manual, lock key, hex keys, micro USB cord to charge the lock, hardware, as well as the damage claim form and a QR code to the owner's manual. Save the lock documents for future use. As you open boxes throughout the assembly process, inspect for damage that may have occurred during shipping. If you discover any damaged product, please use the damage claim form included with your pod's documentation. Set aside the packaging to be recycled. If you plan on disassembling and moving the pod in the future, we recommend you put all the packing materials in storage. It's time to find the perfect place for your Flex lactation pod. Once assembled, the Flex pod will measure 6 foot 7 inches wide, 3 foot 8 inches deep, and 7 foot 9 inches tall, including the antenna. We recommend at least 7 foot 9 inches of ceiling clearance for the assembly process. The pod also requires one dedicated 15 or 20 amp 120 volt electrical outlet. Once you've chosen an even and level surface for the Flex, unpack the floor from box 4 and place it face up. Unpack the 2 chassis from box 6 and 7. Place the side of the chassis without a flange over the floor flange. Unpack the main power cord from box 1. Lift the back of the chassis and insert approximately 12 inches of the receptacle end under the flange at the back of the left side chassis. You'll connect the power cords later. Hot tip: loosely fasten the screws by hand as you assemble so you can adjust pod components as needed. Over-tightening early on will make it difficult to adjust components as you go. Once everything is assembled, you'll tighten everything securely. Next, unpack the shelf from box 5. Position the shelf onto the back of the chassis with the white panel facing toward the front. Loosely fasten the shelf to the chassis with 4 M8x40 button head cap screws. Make sure the back and sides of the shelf are flush with the chassis. Confirm the foundation is properly aligned now before proceeding. The distance between the back corners of the chassis is 74 3/4 inches, so the distance between the front corners of the chassis should be the same. Tighten all screws with the 5mm hex key. Now that you have a stable foundation for the Flex, it's time to assemble the back wall panels. First, pull the floor forward to prevent the side flanges from interfering with the wall panels. Unpack the back left wall panel from box 2 and the wall panel bottom rail from box 5. Place the wall panel bottom rail between the 2 chassis with the mounting holes facing in. Tilt the back left wall panel to a 45-degree angle and align the mounting holes in the panel with the holes in the shelf. Place the panel into the chassis channel and the wall panel bottom rail. Once in place, one person can hold the wall panel for the next step. Loosely fasten the back left wall panel to the chassis and shelf with 6 M8x40 button head cap screws and to the bottom rail with 2 M8x30 button head cap screws. Hot tip: If the cap screws don't thread easily into the wall panel, you may need to lift the bottom rail to align with the two chassis. Tighten the screws with the 5mm hex key. Next, unpack the back right wall panel from box 2. Place the panel into the chassis channel and the wall panel bottom rail. Push the panel against the back left wall panel. It helps to have someone hold the panel in position, applying an even pressure at both the top and bottom of the panel against the other panel. Starting with the screws near the center seam first, loosely fasten the back right wall panel to the chassis and shelf with 6 M8x40 button head cap screws, and to the bottom rail with 2 M8x30 button head cap screws. If the screws do not thread easily into the wall panel, you may need to adjust alignment. Then, tighten the screws with the 5mm hex key. Unpack the wall panel top rail from box 5. Center it onto the back wall panels with the fan and PCD facing the interior. Loosely fasten the rail to the wall panels with 4 M8x30 button head cap screws. Then tighten the screws with the 5mm hex key. Now rotate the antenna to the vertical position. Uncoil the wire at the left side of the wall panel top rail and insert the end through the hole at the corner of the shelf. Connect the power supply harness to the power supply in the left side of the shelf. Ensure all cords are tucked inside the shelf. Guide the receptacle end of the main power cord up into the left side of the shelf. Connect the main power cord into the junction box in the left side of the shelf. Secure the receptacle end of the main power cord to the chassis and shelf with a zip tie. Now we'll show you how to install the side wall panels. Unpack the left side wall panel from box 4. Set the bottom of the panel inside the left chassis channel at a 45-degree angle, then push the top into place. The flange on the chassis should be visible at the bottom of the wall. Align the mounting holes at the top and bottom of the side panel with the back panel. Make sure the power supply harness doesn't get pinched between the panels. Once in place, one person can hold the wall panel for the next step. Use a flathead screwdriver to fasten the left wall panel to the back left wall panel with 2 M8x55 flange head bolts. Start at the top to stabilize the panel. Fasten the left side wall panel to the chassis with 4 M8x40 button head cap screws. If the bolt doesn't thread easily into the wall panel, you may need to adjust the alignment. Tighten the screws with the 5mm hex key. Unpack the right side wall panel from box 3. Set the bottom of the wall panel inside the right chassis channel at a 45-degree angle, then push the top into place. The flange on the chassis should be visible at the bottom of the wall. Align the mounting holes at the top and bottom of the side panel with the back right panel. Once in place, one person can hold the wall panel for the next step. Use a flathead screwdriver to fasten the right side wall panel to the base and back wall panel with 2 M8x55 flange head bolts. Start at the top to stabilize the panel. Loosely fasten the right side wall panel to the chassis with 4 M8x40 button head cap screws. If the bolt doesn't thread easily into the wall panel, you may need to adjust the alignment. Tighten the screws with the 5mm hex key. Now it's time to install the front wall panels and the door. Begin by sliding the floor back against the back panels. Unpack the front left wall panel from box 1. Place the bottom into the chassis channel and slide it over into the left side wall panel flange. Once in place, one person can hold the wall panel for the next step. Use a flathead screwdriver to fasten the front left wall panel to the left side wall panel with 2 M8x55 flange head bolts. Start at the top to stabilize the panel. Hot tip: if the bolt doesn't thread easily into the wall panel, you may need to adjust the alignment. Have your helper check the alignment from the inside. Loosely fasten the front left wall panel to the chassis with 3 M8x40 button head cap screws. Then tighten the screws with the 5mm hex key. Unpack the door with attached right front wall panel from box 1. Carefully remove the tape securing the panel to the door. The springs in the hinges will open the panel to align with the door. At this point, it's helpful to turn the deadbolt latch on the inside of the door to keep the door from closing. Gently push the panel into the right side wall panel flange. Once in place, one person can hold the wall panel and door for the next step. Use a flathead screwdriver to fasten the right front wall panel to the right side wall panel with two M8x55 flange head bolts. Start at the top to stabilize the panel. It's helpful to have a second person assist with alignment. Fasten the right front wall panel to the chassis with three M8x40 button head cap screws. Again, if the bolt doesn't thread easily into the wall panel, you may need to adjust the alignment. Then tighten the screws with the 5mm hex key. Next, unwind the plunger cable at the top of the front left wall panel. Unpack the header rail from box 5. Push the plunger cable through the grommet in the front side of the header rail. Position the header rail on top of the front panels. Loosely secure the header to the inside of the left and right front wall panels with two M8x30 button head cap screws. Then, loosely secure the header to the top of the left and right front wall panels with four M8x20 button head cap screws. You'll tighten the screws later. Use a flathead screwdriver to fasten the front right wall panel and the front left wall panel to the header with two M8x55 flange head bolts. Then, tighten the 6 header screws with the 5mm hex key. It's time to wire your Flex. First, uncoil the wires at both corners of the left side wall panel. Then, connect the 2 wires at the top of the front left wall panel. Then connect the 2 wires at the back left corner. Connect the wires in the middle of the left side back wall panel. And finally, connect the 2 wires at the back right corner. Now it's time to install the interior and roof panel. Unpack the wire cover from box 5. With the flat end of the wire cover facing down and the cutout facing up, position the cover at a 45-degree angle along the sidewall panel. Making sure the wire is tucked behind the cover and doesn't stick out or get pinched, slowly press the long wire cover flange into place behind the sidewall corner flange. Rotate the wire cover into position and then snap the short wire cover flange over the other side wall corner flange. Next, unpack the seat back from box 4 and place it onto the left side chassis. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to fasten the seat back to the chassis with 2 1/4-20 by 2-inch panhead Phillips screws. Unpack the seat base from box 4 and place it at a 45-degree angle over the left side chassis. Press into place. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to fasten the seat base to the chassis with 4 1/4-20 by 2-inch panhead Phillips screws. Next, unpack the bench top from box 4 and place it at a 45-degree angle over the right side chassis. The wood side should face the back. Press into place. Loosely fasten the bench top to the right side chassis with 4 M8x30 button head cap screws. Then, tighten the screws with the 5mm hex key. Unpack the roof from box 4. Just a heads up, before we unpack the roof, you'll want to wash your hands as the roof material smudges easily. It's helpful to have someone pass you the roof and position it on the side panel. Make sure the flanges with the cutout for the fan are facing the back. Then slide the back of the roof under the roof tray and lower the roof on top of the wall panel flanges. Last step, be sure you tuck all wires into the channel. Now that your pod is assembled, it's time to stabilize it in its final location. If the pod is not yet in its final location, now's the time to move it. To move your pod, first lift the power cord off the floor and then gently push on the lower portion of the pod to move it. To stabilize your pod, use a ratchet and 9/16" socket to turn the floor leveling feet clockwise evenly until the caster wheels are no longer touching the floor. Then turn the deadbolt lever to retract it fully into the door and shut the door. It's a good idea to open and close the door a few times to check for proper alignment. There should be an even gap along the latch side of the door. If there is a larger gap at the bottom, adjust the front right leveling foot. If the door rubs against the bottom of the door frame, raise the front left leveling foot and then push the front left wall panel towards the exterior of the pod. Hot tip: The bolts on the leveling feet can be adjusted up or down as needed, as long as when you're done, the casters are not touching the floor. Continue adjustments as needed until the door gaps are equal, the door shuts properly, and the deadbolt engages without any friction. Now it's time to complete the assembly process and make sure your Flex lactation pod is fully functional. Unpack the two beauty panels from box 6 and 7. Then, press 8008 pound on the keypad to open the door. Tilt the top of the beauty panel. As you insert the bottom inside corner, gently push the beauty panel until the clips connect to hold it in place. You may need to lift it up to secure it. Then repeat for the other side. Unpack the two shelf support covers from box 5. Install a cover onto the left side of the shelf by tilting the top of the cover back so the bottom rests on the beauty panel. Push the top into position until the clips connect to hold it in place. Repeat for the right side. Insert the exterior power plug into a GFCI wall outlet or a dedicated standard 15 or 20 amp 120 volt receptacle and press the reset button on the plug. Now it's time to check that everything is working correctly. First, step inside the pod to activate the motion sensor to ensure the lights and fan turn on. Then check that the deadbolt engages fully and easily. Test to be sure that all outlets, standard and USB port, work by using an outlet tester or by plugging in a phone. We recommend leaving the outlet cover in the open position. Make sure the door latches, but doesn't slam. If you need to increase the door closure speed, close the door and insert the 5/32 inch hex key in the top of the hinge. Push down and rotate clockwise. To decrease the door closure speed, rotate counterclockwise. Gently wipe down the walls, metal extrusions, interior surfaces, and mirror to remove any dust or debris. As a final step, be sure to fill out the interior maintenance decal with contact information should parents encounter any issues. We recommend using a label maker or permanent marker. Congrats! You've now successfully installed your Mamava Flex lactation pod. For more information on your new pod and supporting breastfeeding parents, visit Mamava's Help Center.